This Halloween, you can't escape the shock, the terror of Werewolf by Night.
Tonight, it is every hunter for themselves.
Good luck. I'll be rotting for you.
But one of you is a monster, masquerading as one of our own. I can't wait to find out what breed of evil you are. You wanna see this, darling?
Please don't do this. Death is coming for you!
Werewolf by Night.
I love the fact that inexplicably your mic cut out, so you just went, oh.
I went to that register that only the dogs could hear.
Yep. It's a beautiful time, and it's very impressive. Hi.
Welcome to the periodic table of awesome.
Welcome to this very spooky. Yep, I'm going to be doing
We
that
have to
all
talk
fucking
like
night.
this all
Yes.
night.
Well, if we're doing accents, see, I'm going to be in the old-timey way. Welcome to Werewolf by Night.
Cha-cha-cha.
Cha-cha-cha. Go on, Pete. Come on. What have you got for us?
No, you know I don't do it. I can't even do old-timey accents. I just got to sit here silently looking monochrome.
Oh, okay.
Being slightly judged by Jessica Jones. I mean, not Jessica Jones in the corner of the screen. It's just like,
All women
Yeah.
don't look the same. That's womanist.
Oh, wow.
oh. Well, it's not all werewolves, Peter.
There's a part of me that really feels like I should have worn some more makeup. Now knowing that we're in black and white, you two look way more fucking glamorous than us. I'm like, oh, god damn it.
Excuse me?
Look at them. They look magnificent. You look lovely. I just look like I want to have all of that cool face paint that Garcia is wearing in this.
Gail Garcia.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't have his name in front of me, and I went, fuck, I've forgotten.
Why Mama Tambien? Yes, him. Absolutely.
Gail Garcia Bernal.
Yes.
There you go. Or as he's better known, Jack Russell.
Yes. Oh, he's a terror. Yeah. Terror. Oh, there we
It's
go.
kind of weird they didn't go with the Latina.
I know,
werewolf
right?
For this one.
Well,
anyway.
is he Latina or is he? Because there are two Werewolf by Nights, and
Yeah,
there's,
the non-Jack Russell one.
is he Latina? I thought there was also one who was Hopi Indian. So I'm not entirely.
I think
that's
we're
why
getting-
I was like,
There was a Jack and there was a Jacob.
yeah.
I think we're too far down a
remember
rabbit
what
hole we don't need to be in
His other
anyway.
name is.
Hi.
Jake Gomez.
Yeah,
Um,
that's okay. Maybe
yeah.
it was just me making an assumption.
Hi, welcome back. Nice to see you guys again after you missed out on our lovely show last week.
Yeah, sorry,
where
we're just getting straight back into
we
the old routine.
we didn't even need you. I hope that you're going to go back and watch On Golden Pond. Of course
Laugh
you've
at that.
already.
That's a real suggestion.
Yeah, don't laugh at that.
I'm sorry. It just
Don't make this weird.
I thought it was funny because it's not going to happen.
Oh, jeez.
After watching
It was
the
just
stream,
half me being very sincere about On Golden Pond.
it was. I watched it. You guys, you were such a lovely, entertaining pair, and Dion, you really gave a lot of ground on Golden Pond.
What do you mean?
I thought you were going to come into that one like you were just coming in swinging, but you were like, actually, no, I don't like the guy, but it's a good film.
How can you not love On Golden Pond? Doesn't anyone
know.
want to live on a pond and be mean to people? That's my dream. It's end of life goals. Who's that guy? Oh, that's the fucking asshole who lives on the boat like over there in that place. And I'm like, it's me.
I was going to say, because this is what came up last week, was this whole thing of like, Dion, I think you like this film because it's what you're going to become one day.
Yeah, just like
Irascible.
sitting there hanging shit on people, going, "What are you here for? Get away!" Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry to
Yes,
shit
yes,
on you.
and they probably do need to watch the YouTube version for last week's one because I mean, the audio was fine, but yes.
Oh, thanks.
No, because you get to see your lovely faces.
Oh, I don't know. Where have you guys been? You slackers.
Oh,
I mean,
around.
Peter went all the way to New York to collect an Emmy. What's your excuse?
yeah. Can we change Peter's background so it no longer just says Peter? It should
yes,
say
has to
Peter.
say.
Underneath, it's
Yeah.
just going to have to say at.
We've got our handles. Peter has to says Emmy Award winner.
Yes.
Emmy, sure.
Is
all
it
right.
winner or winning? Because
Winner. Emmy
Okay.
Award winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Because I
We
like
could say
I like
Emmy Award winning writer
Yeah.
and producer.
yeah, but I just
Sure.
like shortening your name. Get rid of the Peter entirely, and your name is now just Emmy Award winning.
Emmy. Or just Emmy. I was going to call you Emmy.
Emmy.
That's your nickname now.
Yes.
Emmy.
Yeah.
I love it. Well done.
Cute nickname.
Why are we in black and white?
I don't know.
I'm in black and white.
I'm what?
Oh, poor Quinny.
Put your glasses back
Hang
on,
on.
Quinny.
I can't see.
oh, this is horrible. Oh God, no! Put your glasses back on. You look
Yeah,
weird.
Now you're all like, hang on,
Who the
Quinny without
fuck's
glasses
that
looks
guy?
weird. It's like Quinny without a beard. It's fucking horrible.
Ooh,
I'm
oh,
sorry. This
actually-
is my horror show.
Speaking of challenge, who wants me? Do you dare me to shave off my beard for next week? Why not? I'll do that.
Why?
I don't know.
I like that everybody is like, what? Why?
Why?
Nobody
It
We
else?
wasn't a
don't want you to
challenge.
do that.
Fine.
Why don't you just do Movember and shave it off next month?
That would
Because
be a
I'll
lot
be
more
shocked.
sensible.
I can
Oh, you
only.
just want to shave it off while Phil's
yeah,
away,
okay,
right,
I know.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely in no chance in hell will that be happening when there's someone else around. Anyway,
Right. Yes. So Doc Forrest says he was last week. He was recovering from PAX last Tuesday. Casper
Yes, as
says
were
PAX
I.
was fun. I want to shout out to the Casper man himself, who came up to me after the panel, after the great debate, and said hello. And now, forgive me, I just have to reach over the back.
oh,
Oh, Quinny's got something
I
within
do.
reach.
Oh,
within
did he-
reach.
Did-
This is one of the emotes we need.
yeah,
when he
yeah.
reaches for something.
Did
Just a
Casper do
hand.
what I asked him to, which was to punch you square in the face?
That would explain
No.
a lot, but no, just 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Condone
What-
violence here,
what are you-
Dion.
Oh, I love this.
Except when
Great.
we're watching Jean-Claude Van Damme.
All I'm saying is great content, Quinny. Not like you didn't have enough time to prepare. You could. This is not what we talked about in the pre-show stuff,
Hi,
but
I'm
the
back.
Just
preamble.
disappeared and we can just
Yeah,
hear his voice in the background.
How spooky is this?
It's super spooky.
Yeah, well done.
because-
Look, we're not going to be talking about the show for very long, so we may as well.
No,
put it out the time.
we're
Oh,
giving them
oh,
value for
ow.
their fucking money here.
Ow.
So Casper
Fuck,
was
it
nice
looks like-
enough to
looks
give
like
us all.
I'm in defense of
Yeah.
fucking werewolf fun. Anyway, continue. Sorry, what did Casper give
Okay,
us?
Casper was lovely enough to continue what he does so well on the chat into real life, and he gave us some subs.
Oh my God.
So we got that
Oh,
Not a
sub
dear.
foot long. Not a
and,
foot long.
and
but
that little sub.
Oh my god.
So many
and-
subs.
And this one, which is Oscar Thomas
That
II,
is-
which he said was also a sub.
I was going to say that is a tank.
The last one was Luigi, who he assures me is a sub, but I'm pretty
Very
sure is a Switch.
definitely.
Oh no, he's on a Switch. He's on the Switch.
Oh.
Sorry.
Goodness me.
So these will all be coming to you when I see you in person next. You all get a sub from Casper.
Excellent.
Thanks,
God,
Casper.
amazing. I
I'm so
love this
sorry
so
that I
much.
missed you at PAX. I did get to meet Tari though.
Oh, nice.
Hooray.
That's very, very
We got to
cool.
meet people, and that was awesome.
Yay.
Yeah, I got to see Doc Forrest and I got to see Casper, which was fucking great. And it was such a nice thing to look out into the crowd and go, hey, there's some people there that I know. And I hope you all had a lovely time with the great debate because we had a lot of fun doing it.
Yes. But
Right.
that's not what we're talking about tonight, is it?
No.
No, it's not. We're talking about something spooky.
Ooh. Is it though?
Yeah, Well,
Isn't there? I mean,
I
look,
feel like this is the kind of spooky that America loves. It's Halloween spooky, which is not actually spooky at all. It's
Mhm.
just kind of all of the trappings of spooky, with all of the ideas of, oh, this is meant to be scary, but it's actually not at all, even slightly.
I don't know. Okay. All right. No, keep going. Sorry.
No, okay. Oh,
I have
wow.
opinions.
I feel like there's going to be some opinions here.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I think I've read the tone of the group in watching this, and now I feel like the werewolf in the maze, really. But continue with your exploration.
Okay, so I want to put it out here straight up. I was very confused when I started watching this because I thought that Werewolf by Night was a different character entirely.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Who did you think it was?
the character of Manwolf, who is J. Jonah Jameson's son, who is an astronaut who got lycanthropy from on the moon somehow. I don't know how.
Werewolves come from the moon?
Of course
Yeah.
they do.
Mm.
So yeah, I was kind of like, yes, right, sweet. I know where this is going. It's going to be tied into Spider-Man or something like that. No, not even slightly. So yeah,
Oh,
I was this had me wrong-footed right from the start.
interesting. So you didn't know Werewolf by Night as part of the, lexicon of Marvel Comics?
Not even remotely.
You never read
didn't-
any of the horror Marvel comics. You never read any of those kind of ones that lent into the Hammer horror mythology that tried to tie a bit in because, technically werewolves are ambiguous and you don't own one. You only own specific types of werewolf, like,
Right, and like Dracula, because
Yeah.
technically both DC and Marvel can use Dracula if they want,
sure.
and in
Yeah,
fact have.
Yes. But you can't use specific werewolves. Anyway, yeah. Like,
So
I mean,
yeah, no, I had never read any Werewolf by Night. I
Right.
really wasn't aware of the character. What about you guys?
No, probably heard of it, but like not
well, okay.
on my reading list.
Sure. No, understandably, that's absolutely fine because, you're probably not picking up a lot of those little pulp issue stuffs or the bits where they throw shit in, or you're not reading it, I don't know, a She-Hulk annual and suddenly a werewolf turns up and you're like, what the fuck's that?
I think the only character I actually knew by name was Elsa Bloodstone.
I had no
Sure.
idea who she was.
Right.
Look, it's interesting. I mean, I'm just going to take a wild stab in the dark. Peter, no idea about any of this?
I mean, if I didn't know who Captain Marvel was before she was in a movie, you
Sure.
can be fairly certain that I had no idea what Werewolf by Night was.
Cool. Can we just take a quick litmus test? So everyone knows what a werewolf is, though, right? Everyone has seen a
Thumbs
black.
up. More than different thumbs for Jill.
Everyone has seen understands when I say Hammer horror. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Like the good old kind of like oldie time crazy.
Yes, I understand ye oldie time horror
Yep.
films.
And that is pretty much what they were doing in this Werewolf by Night, which was making.
I mean, if they had steady cams in ye oldie times, but sure.
Yeah.
They did.
Locked off shots.
Yeah.
They didn't need steady cams in the old days. We just did
Maybe they shouldn't have used them in this. Haha.
we just did proper film work. Look, I mean, Werewolf by Night is a strange one, but it's also part of the Marvel history, and they've kind of put this in. I just kind of liked that they came out with this thing a bit out of left field called, we're going to do Werewolf by Night, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, as it seems, very much a standalone side special that is just for Halloween, and we're just going to do a werewolf story exactly like they would have done the old-timey serials, and they've rolled it out, during October and go on then, have a bit of that. Does it match with anything? No, it doesn't have to. Does it give you a few hints? Yep, sure. Do you get to it?
Hints to what? Fuck only knows.
Excuse-
I'm sorry. But like
I'd like to know what hints, because I came in with nothing and I left with absolutely fuck all.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm like, okay, yeah, it was an hour show. And
Jesus.
I
Okay.
feel-
I'm going to entitle the next 30 minutes "In Defense of Werewolf by Night."
Where's my new but why emote?
Yeah, I know.
I
Well,
made a
I mean-
emoted GIF this time.
Oh.
GIF for Peter.
Thank
Oh,
you.
God,
Thanks,
please.
Jill. Now, let's not start that again, but I appreciate the inclusivity.
Yes. Yes. There we go. I have
Yes,
now put into
but
the chat
why?
the but why. There
But
you are.
why? But why? Look, it's not perfect, but it was fun. And
Yeah,
I
it was
liked
alright.
I liked the bit that it was fun. It wasn't supposed to be super scary, although for a
No.
child it would probably be pretty scary. This is kind of like a nice tween kind of thing. To me, an old jaded nerd, I'm watching it going, super predictable. How dull. I don't like any of these people. Why don't I know what's going on in Phase 5 yet? When it comes from Marvel. But I think, I kind of twofered this one back to back, like She-Hulk finale and then Werewolf by Night. So it was kind of this space where my brain had already been scrambled. And then I watched this and I was like, oh no, I'm getting this. The simplicity of it is quite nice. Anyway, I quite liked Werewolf by Night and it was good. Thank you for coming to my TED talk, because TED's
Okay.
the man thing.
Yes.
Very good. Well done.
We all love
So
TED.
a little bit of history on it. Werewolf by Night, the original character started in
Oh.
1954.
Oh yeah, yes.
So the character in the comics started in 1954. So as a response to the Comics Code Authority. So they weren't allowed to have horror. They weren't allowed to have all those kind of things in superhero comics. And they were like, we're going to just kind of get it in through doing superhero stuff. And
Yes.
I do love that pretty much right from the start, people have been pointing out that the name Jack Russell is that of a very small dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind
and-
of annoyed that they kept him as Jack Russell.
Yeah.
I owned 3 Jack Russells when I was younger.
Oh, they're lovely dogs. Some of them.
Uh,
Some of them are.
They're dumb as a couple of bricks, but they're lovely dogs. Sure.
Yeah, some of them are lovely dogs. Some of them are thick as two short planks, and some of them are aggressive little fuckers.
They
Yes.
have little dog complex.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it probably would have been more interesting, perhaps, in a way, to go with the second version of the character, Jake Gomez. So the original character, 1954, Jake Gomez, appeared in 2001, if memory serves. 2020. What? No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, no, it is actually. Jake Gomez debuted in Werewolf by Night #1 in October 2020. So very,
There
very
you
recent
go.
take on the character.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, like he's got a huge long history and has been basically put up against everybody in the Marvel universe who's ever been remotely supernatural. Was well acquainted with Moon Knight. Funnily enough, werewolf, moon. Yeah.
Wow, I couldn't. Why didn't we see? Yeah, okay, sure.
Mm-hmm. So, and in fact, in Moon Knight, I'm pretty sure the first appearance of Moon Knight was in a Werewolf by Night story. So, yeah,
Cool.
all that good stuff. And depending on where you go, has hung out with Morbius. Oh well.
Cool.
He's definitely
and-
in Morbius too.
Yeah.
Make it happen,
Morbid and Boogaloo.
Kevin.
K-V-I-N.
Yeah, I feel like the second half of this should be entirely about the finale of
Yeah,
She-Hulk.
maybe.
Well, speed it up then. Okay, you're talking about Werewolf by Night, but what does this have to
Okay.
do with Werewolf by Night, the television special?
Okay, well, prepare yourselves, prepare your gifts. There is now a shit accent gif.
Oh, is there?
Clench
It's
your
a
buttholes.
placeholder.
It's a placeholder. Cool.
It's a placeholder because I've already been pointed out that it's ugly as sin.
Oh.
Yes.
You-
So we'll be replacing that one. But I need an accent and I need Mr. Music. Some spoopy music, please.
Spoopy.
On a dark and somber night, a secret cabal of human monster hunters emerge from the shadows and gather at the Bloodstone Temple following the death of their leader, Ulysses Bloodstone. The attendees are thrust into a mysterious and deadly competition for a powerful relic, the Bloodstone itself. And yes, that's essentially it. There's Thank you,
Yes.
thank you very much. I'll be here all week. Thank you. That's what we need. Big reactions.
Yes.
That's what
all
I like
that
to
stuff.
see. Yes.
Yes.
And seeing all of the shit accent stuff in the chat just makes me happy.
Yeah. I don't even know what it looks like. It looks like some
Oh, it's
sort
a
of
poop.
Is
It's
it?
a poop.
But it looks
Oh,
like
okay.
a poop cupcake because like the accent time looks like a little cupcake can.
Which is kind of what the shit accents are. Little poop cupcakes.
I'm down for that.
Jesus. A shit cupcake is now an accent thing. What is going on? Where did my life get to? Why am I here?
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Quinny's next birthday, I'm gonna make cupcakes and ice them with chocolate that just looks like a big turd on the top.
And you can come up
We
to me
can
and
do
go,
those.
Quinny, would you like a cupcake? Hello, everybody.
Congratulations, you've earned the shit accent fucking prize. Here, let me give it to you.
Oh, dear.
As Doc Forrest says, just like practically every Australian accent in movies, or especially the one in Shantaram, which we will.
Yeah, you're just getting your own back, Quinny.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck. Did you watch
absolutely.
Shantaram? I haven't even got. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Oh, I've watched the first episode and I was like,
Anyway,
No, no,
that's
it's
not what
fine,
we're
but
talking
the
about Werewolf
accent-
by Night. We're talking about
Yes,
how
yes, we
wonderful,
are.
how wonderful
So the
this
first-
thing is.
The first thing I had to do
Oh,
when watching Werewolf by Night
yeah.
was change the picture setting on my television.
Oh,
Why?
Because that black and white looked shit on my normal picture setting.
Oh,
We needed some contrast in that baby.
I see.
it was a little too grey, a little too.
Oh, it wasn't good. It makes me question my normal picture setting. But
Have you thought about busting into a retailer of televisions, holding your Emmy, going, "Motherfuckers, I need a better TV."
Just start swinging with it. Bang.
Just-
but I would
I'm
certainly
walking out
suggest
with one.
if she's looking a little bit muddy, that popping your TV onto a more contrasty picture mode
Sure.
helps a lot to make it feel like an old black and white film. Because at first I was like, oh my god, they've like shot this in color and they have no idea how black and white actually looks on screen.
Right.
I just needed a bit of contrast. It was
Sure.
fine.
Well,
This is a little tip from me.
While you were watching it, there were a couple of little messages that I think came to us, which seemed to be around the concept of student film.
Why do I feel like I'm watching one?
yeah, that's because you were
Yeah.
looking at it through the lens of a student film in a shit television. You should have done what I did and watch it on an iPad, like Kevin intended.
I don't know that would have helped my main issues, and if you care, I actually kind of enjoyed the film. I thought it was fun.
We do care. Of
yes,
course
I
we
thought
care.
Yes, Peter. This is right. It seems like there's a divide here. You're on Team Dion. Excellent.
I wouldn't,
Well.
let's
I wouldn't go
back
that
up a little bit.
Shut up.
Sorry,
I've-
Damon,
shut
you're
up.
on your own.
I've
it felt
I've claimed
to
it. It's
me
fine.
like obviously it's supposed to feel like a vintage horror, even though I do have issues with some very confusing stylistic things that were happening for something that was supposed to feel like a vintage horror.
Let the
But it also
Steadicam
kind of
go.
felt like an old episode of Buffy,
Yeah.
like pre Whedonverse kind of being ruined by reality.
Like when they do the wacky episode.
Yeah, the cheese felt a little bit like that. So I kind of enjoyed
Yeah.
that aspect of it. And once I settled into the no, you're not watching a student film, you're just watching something that's supposed to feel a bit shit. Then you can lean into that.
I love that everyone chewed the fuck out of the scenery. That was part of the great thing. Like the terrible dialogue and the overacting was just kind of like they all understood their direction. You know, they're all
But
sitting there.
one, like if one is not prepared for that, one does start watching it and go, what the fuck is happening?
And-
Marvel has money. Why does
Yeah.
this look like it was made for $50,000?
Well, yeah, that. But also, Marvel has money. Why didn't they hire an actual Scotsman? Because fuck me.
Because Graham McTavish was busy on the set of Incest
Hot
Dragon
D.
Show. Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right, but fucking hell, I like the moment that guy, and that was my biggest problem. The moment that dude started talking, I was like, this guy's fucking terrible, and it set the tone for the whole thing. Because I'm sure that Garcia was mint, right,
I love the fact that ever since it was pointed out to me by our mutual Scottish friend, knowing that the Scottish people don't say lassie, they say lass. Like it's lassie is a dog, and specifically they don't say that. And after that was put out one of the Star Trek ones. Simon Pegg was like, yeah, I'm Scottish. I say lassie to every second thing that he said. And now whenever I hear it by someone who's not Scottish, I'm like, oh, wow, no. It just sounds bad.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. Like he, as an actor, I'm just looking. Maybe he's a lovely person, but fuck me, he just set the tone for me. And I had this problem that like him acting opposite Garcia, I was like, oh, okay. And then they introduced the rest of the hunters, and I was like, oh, okay. It's like Blade that you bought from Wish.
For a second there, you know what? For at least a half of this, I was like, is that fucking Blade?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not okay with that if that's Blade. Like,
and then
I get it.
Azrael. Who the fuck is Azrael? I don't know. What does she do? I don't know. She's a model. She's only.
Oh, that's cool.
But I mean, funnily enough, like Thatcher, who played Jovan, who is the shit Scottish person, wrote and directed Muppets Haunted Mansion. So that should give you a little bit of an idea of what's going on. Yeah, I know.
I liked that movie.
Oh.
I he's done quite a bit of other stuff, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been a production designer and director for ages.
Fuck, I knew his face. He's the dude from Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home. He's the punk who Leonard Nimoy chokes out with the fucking nerve pinch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, random weird fucking shit that you know about people. So yeah, okay, right. Oh well, then But even still, I looked at them and I'm like, these aren't characters from the Marvel universe that I'm aware of. Like, I went looking to try and find out who the fuck they were, and I was like, no.
Yeah, I was hoping for like a few more deep cuts, like even if they referenced Blade or Black Knight or anything like that, like maybe that would have made me a little bit more interested.
But we got the man thing.
Yeah.
And good. I'm glad Man Thing was there.
It melted the head.
He did melt a head. But also because I wasn't aware of the history, and this is an interesting thing. If you don't know about the characters and you don't know about any of their history or any of their comic book appearances or anything like that, which I didn't, because I never read A Werewolf by Night, never was aware of Elsa Bloodstone, never have read any of the Marvel horror stuff. Does this work?
A choose your own adventure of never have I ever heard of this character, cared about this character, know what this character does, except we all want to save Ted.
Yeah, yes.
That was
I mean,
I don't think it fully doesn't work.
Okay. Oh, well, as the resident, like, non-Marvel expert.
As the resident person who doesn't actually give a shit about, like, whether things are working from the comics or not.
Sure.
I don't think it fully doesn't work, but I don't know if that's kind of like, I get to the point where I'm like, I respect what they're trying to do here.
Yeah, I think
and I can have fun with what they're trying to do here.
Yeah.
You're also a filmmaker. I feel like that's a bit of a biased perspective too, because you can enjoy that bit. But I'm thinking for like the absolute layman that knows nothing about Marvel, what are they going to get from this?
A fun kind of, oh, that was fun. Are these people I need to know about? No, it's just a one-off. Like, it's a nice little fun one-off. Like, I hope they don't do any more. Like, we don't need Werewolf by Night again. We would be better off having, as Quinny had suggested earlier, a giant-sized Man Thing next October.
I mean, and to be honest, like, I'm more interested in Man Thing and Ted and, what's going on there.
I'd watch a TV series about that friendship.
Just Marvel, please, just give us a buddy cop thing of something. We're screaming out. Like, we just want people to be having a good time. We want the sidekick show. We want a buddy cop thing. Just give us something like that.
It also did my pet fucking hate of werewolf things. And this is just a personal thing for me. Now, I want to know, where are you all at with your werewolves? How do you like your werewolves? What flavor of werewolves do you like?
Ooh.
I mean, that's a weird question.
I've never thought about that.
Oh, well, I have.
Okay.
I'm lost.
Okay. So There are essentially two different camps of the werewolf variety. There is dude with sideburns, or there is hulking 7 foot tall thing with wolf head.
Pretty werewolf or ugly werewolf.
Exactly.
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about? Because I didn't know if you were going like the full lycanthropy or you were going the kind of like that guy just needs a shave.
Oh, sorry. Actually, no. And there is the third option, which is essentially just gigantic fucking wolf that you see.
The Twilight version.
Well, Twilight does that,
version.
and also so does American Werewolf in London. Essentially, the werewolf in that is just a big fucking wolf.
Cool.
So
the teen wolf werewolves are the pretty ones with the hair.
So they've got good hair and sideburns and some.
You're talking
fangs.
about like a Taylor Lautner werewolf.
Yeah. I want the
look.
No, that's Twilight. We're talking about Tyler Hoechlin.
Tyler Hoechlin,
the other Tyler.
I want the look of the underworld werewolves, but with the personalities of the What We Do in the Shadows werewolves.
Oh my God. Yes.
Remember, we're werewolves, not swear wolves.
Yeah. Especially with the squeaky toys, like, go on, get it. It's like,
I'm down for the underworld look. I'm also down for the dog soldiers look. Quite like those. They were creepy
dog
as
soldiers
fuck.
is good, yeah.
Like 7 foot tall, gangly, and kind of terrifying.
Yes.
Not so into the Harry Potter werewolf.
No, a bit weirdly. Like that was more of a golem.
Yeah. Wasn't a fan of the Harry Potter.
I mean, I didn't mind this kind of hammer horror, like 1940s, where they just basically stuck some pubes on a guy and went, like what's the cheapest way we can get around this?
It felt stylistically consistent by that stage.
It did.
You know, like the wolf felt like the wolf you were gonna see.
Yeah, but I was annoyed because when they first walked down the corridor, they showed a full, big, hulking Krenos-form fucking wolf head werewolf.
A what? A Krenos-form? What?
Sorry, that's
nerd.
That's some deep fucking nerd cut shit there. Oh God, sorry. Yes, there is a gonk fucking thing too.
but were you guys just previously saying that there are like different kinds of werewolf characters in the Marvel universe?
There are. Well, and yes, but also throughout all the comics of Werewolf by Night, he's drawn in multiple different ways.
Well, there you go.
And
consistency.
Yeah.
About inconsistency, but consistency all the same.
Yeah. Also, are we particularly clear on why he had the face paint?
Because it's part of his heritage, and then they moved on.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was it.
Because you're allowed to reference something and move on.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, it was really easy to do motion tracking. they just built the dots into his makeup, and they're like, that's fine. Or maybe they just forgot to take them off one day, and they're like, leave it.
Part of the story now.
Yeah,
we're gonna go the line in.
We're moving on. Next scene.
See, the thing is, if he had been the Jake Gomez version of the character, if he'd had a Hopi background or something like that, the face paint would have made a lot more sense.
Sure, but I think you're just nitpicking on terrible things there, Quinny. I think you're just being mean.
Our job.
Maybe we can headcanon it. Like, can a Jacob be called a Jack?
Yeah.
Let's just headcanon that.
Okay, sure. Let's go with that.
I'm going to nitpick on things. It would be stylistic things like, I feel like that the art department and the acting and the editing really nailed this, hammer horror.
Good.
Style.
Yes.
But the camera department did not. And it was it really was the one thing that kept kind of kicking me out of it, where I'm like, I can handle these like shit sets and the overacting because I get that it's like the style. But when we're like, running around action scenes on a Steadicam, that doesn't work for me within that style, and that kind of kicked me out. Also, if you're going to do black and white, I like a bit of grey. Like really smooth black and white ekes me out. And again, if you're trying to emulate that old film style,
let's be honest, it's no WandaVision.
Grey would have helped. But what I really did like is actually in some of those action sequences later in the show, there was some really cool, like motivated lighting going on in some of those scenes that was kind of cool and
You're talking about the
awesome.
one where the door is slowly closing?
The one where the door is slowly
Yep.
closing, but then the that kind of like lightning effect that's actually created by the tasers, the stun guns. So often in those kind of films, you get that lightning effect and it's kind of coming from nowhere. So I kind of appreciated that that kind of had motivation in the scene, and that was fun.
I think I did like that. I really I just remember distinctly that there was a really good sword death in it where I was like, huh, that was a really cool move that she
Where she
just
kicked the guy's head into the sword.
Yeah.
That
And I was just
sick.
just kind of like, that was really fucking cool. I like that bit. That's got a little bit, but also they got to get away with a little bit more of the ultra violence in this one because it was black and white.
Well, and the sprays of blood all over the camera, I enjoyed a few times. I was like, oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that kind of lent itself to this whole sort of thing. Like it is schlocky. Everyone is overacting. It's supposed to be like that. They're not expecting you to take this seriously. And I got a little bit dragged out of it when it went into color at the end. Sorry to spoil anything. But like also that was okay because I liked why they did that. I was just kind of a little bit confused because it was a confusing story. It's like, are they going very hard down this is a separate story, it's in black and white, it's very crazy and we're going to move. But then because they added that color ending, I was a little bit like, oh, you got to try and get these people into the Marvel universe now? Because that's not how this was playing out for anyone.
I think if they'd gone more ham, I would have bought it as a standalone. I think because it felt like it was taking itself a little bit too seriously that I'm like, oh, this feels like it should be taken seriously and be more something. But if they'd gone like full at the beginning with like the and
didn't they do well? I mean, that's
that kind of shit. Like
that was our clip that we've got to come up in the midway point. Hint. That was that whole thing, where you had Ulysses Bloodstone like doing the animatronic corpse bit.
Yeah, but that was just all played really one note.
Yeah.
There were, there was not enough like background music to kind of
which is
convey
amazing
that,
considering that the director is a composer. Like the whole, so a bit of history on that one, which I find interesting. So the director of this is Michael Giacchino, who was the person who composed the Marvel Studios fanfare. Right. He is a composer first and foremost, and so the music was how he started this whole thing. Like that's what he was hanging this on. So this is why you get the bit with the big tuba, the flame blowing tuba.
I kind of understand this a bit more now, knowing that a composer directed it. I mean, I'm not saying. I feel very much like you're all sort of sitting there going, oh, it only costs. It feels like it's a $20,000 student film production, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's how they pitched it. Like everyone who's involved with this is kind of involved in filmmaking in a different way, and they were just like, hey, we've come to you with an idea, we need to seek a meeting with KEVIN, and can we please have I don't know, the popcorn sales from the Avengers re-release money, and we will make this thing for Halloween, okay? And they got to, which I think is great. I want to see more of that kind of thing.
I'm happy they got to do it. Like, and I think I quite like the idea of there being like a Marvel Halloween special, a la the Simpsons Halloween episodes and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I think we've seen a few other times where like little standalone specials can turn into really fun kind of things that just add to the world, build it out a little bit. I just don't know that this one quite landed for me because I felt like it didn't have enough of a plot. It was essentially a bunch of badasses you don't care about show up to get a rock and kill a thing, and there's a werewolf. The end.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, I feel like that was enough plot. I just feel like it wasn't sold properly throughout the 1 hour.
I just come on. I was sort of just sitting there going, at least it wasn't a sky beam. least they didn't have to save the world or the universe from something. You know, at least a werewolf didn't use his wolf howling powers. Or at least it wasn't an origin story like, how did he become a werewolf? It's like, they just dropped you in. They went, here's a werewolf
Yeah,
story.
it's fine. I don't need anyone's backstories. I just
Yeah.
wanted it to be more schlocky.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean,
like
yeah.
it should have been advertised. to
Yeah,
be.
I mean, I think, so your only complaint was, more cheese.
Yeah, like cheese and ham and schlock. Just
Jeez.
all of that. Just all of that on there. Lean into what you're trying to do instead of trying to take it so seriously. Like
Yeah.
Pete mentioned grain. Just a little bit more, grading on the fucking shots, please. Like, yeah, I see the little flickers and the dust motes and that kind of shit, but lean in, go harder. Give us those weird kind of weird sound effects and shit, and like give us Dutch tilts. Holy shit, I would have paid $1 million to see a Dutch tilt in that.
Yeah, I would have loved for them to have gone a little more German expressionist, so that like the sets were a bit more kind of Mountains of Madness, kind of, real weird.
Well, that's the thing.
Fritz Langy kind of shit.
You wanted to go the dolly through all the bottles and everything that changes, like, because that's what you learn in film schools. Like, oh, how do we make this? I'm sorry, what is it? Isn't it just, it's, if we just pan right through bottles and things, or we pan down and then pan up and pan left.
And then pan in.
And then pan in.
Pan in, pan out.
Yeah. See if we can
watch Peter's just.
If we put this camera on a gimbal and just pan over the top of everything.
Emmy award winning is about to explode.
Don't hate us, Emmy.
The catch-all phrase. Just pan across. It's fine.
Rob is. What is a Dutch tilt?
Oh,
Rob, have
Rob,
you ever watched
This is a Dutch tilt.
Batman in the 60s? Because they did it every episode.
Yep. It is a lovely thing that is used quite often to make it look like the people that are being shown are unhinged, or that something is wrong with their state of mind. It is a beautiful, I don't know why it's called a Dutch tilt. I'm assuming Dutch expressionism.
I think you're wrong there. I think it's got more to do with the plugging the holes in the walls of the dikes. And I am not going to elaborate.
No. Good plan. It's off center camera angles, but very specifically tilted.
Tilting.
So that, the frame is...
like off center would be this. It's not that, it's this.
Yeah, it's panned to the...
Pan to the side.
Hand on a 45?
Oh, dear. I love a Dutch tilt.
And yeah, the Batman, the 60s series
60s
was just a
Batman.
fucking ripper for it. And it just...
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's jaunty. It's something, it sort of says, oh, everything's crazy.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying. I don't feel like the camera department got the memo.
No, I agree.
Because those kinds of techniques would have really sold everything else on screen.
Yeah.
But instead, it just felt this kind of disjointed with modern camera work and non-modern everything else.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, weird character stuff that, like, I looked up who Elsa Bloodstone was, because I was like, I have no idea who this character is or what the background is. I found out she's created by a friend of ours, Dan Abnett, who is we met many years ago in Canberra, and who is a lovely, lovely human being. Created this character, and she's all the way through Marvel stuff for the last 20 years, and I've never fucking heard of her. Not once. And I felt really bad about that.
Well, that's because everyone kept thinking she was Jessica Jones.
Yep. I do. Yeah. I mean, we last saw the actor in The Nevers, and I was...
That's where I fucking knew her from.
Finish?
I don't
There were
know
like
whether...
6 episodes of that when we talked about it.
We don't know.
I
what
never
had
bothered
happened.
finishing it.
Yeah. It wasn't.
I don't know
that
whether it'll ever come back for
interesting.
another series either, due to all
the
of
other things.
that business.
Reasons.
I mean,
Yes.
I really liked Harriet Sansom Harris, who was playing Veruca Bloodstone as the absolute scenery eating stepmother.
She was having a good time.
You know you're going to get quality work with her.
Yeah, she was great. Like, I
Yeah.
love that. Like, that was just dumb. every time she came on screen, I was like, what crazy shit is she gonna like? She understood.
Yeah.
You know,
She got
the
every
part.
memo.
She was just like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing here. Ah!
Yeah. No.
But by the end, where she's got the black makeup down the face
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything like that, and you're like, oh yeah, you are going for this.
Yeah.
And once again, that's one of those things that I was like, she was enjoying herself and was great, and I would have liked to have seen that built on more or something. I don't know, like, but especially when you introduce 5 hunter characters.
I think we weren't supposed to care about them.
No,
Yeah.
they were just
very
supposed to die.
throwaway. Yeah.
They were just supposed to die.
I really liked the man thing visuals. I thought that was
bet
great.
you did.
Oh. Keep it in your pants, Quinny.
I'm not talking about my man thing.
God damn it.
Yeah, so we couldn't get through this. I did, yeah, and also he was mostly a practical effect,
Cool.
which I thought
That's
was
cool
very
to
cool.
know. Yeah.
There was a lot of practical on this, and one of the things that a lot of people have kind of given the thumbs up to is, yes, lots of practical.
Nice.
Things that I found confusing, I thought that all of the guards were from the TVA,
Yes.
and I was like, why
I
the
feel
TVA
like they
people,
recycled those costumes and stun guns.
especially the glowy sticks, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
But
okay.
that was fine. It's in black and white. The TVA is
I
in
think they hit a
colour.
lot of sins with the black and white.
Sure.
Mhm.
This is probably why they lent into the visual effects. It's like, oh, we can mask all of this. It's like, give those poor CGI artists a break. It's like they're getting the whip cracked over on Wakanda Forever right now.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just the poor CGI. Oh, not again.
Yeah.
Animate.
They're in that 1 month crunch before a final release date. So
Oh, yes.
they've only got
dear.
nubs for fingers now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just clicking so hard. Yes.
Poor people.
I
All
don't
right.
know.
Okay.
Well, this was a lot of talking for something that you guys were like, we don't need to talk about this very much.
Okay, you make a
I
good
know.
point.
I know. It's a good point. So let's quickly do the ratings and then go to the clip, and then we'll come back and then we will talk about it in color, in primetime color, just like they did at the thing, and then we can talk about the thing that everyone wants to fucking talk about in here. Sure, the She-Hulk finale.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Give
So
us your ratings. Use the little out of
Hit-
100s. It
hit
helps me
up.
find your ratings when I go looking
I'm
for them.
I'm
afterwards.
going to go for 80 out of 100 because I thought it was lots of fun. And it's okay, and I love to see a bit of experimentation, and we got to see Ted, and then everyone did their part, and it was fine. And also, I wouldn't bat an eyelid on showing this at a kids' party for Halloween.
Yeah.
So that
is
to me
fair.
is kind of like, well, that's fine. Like that's actually something that you could show to people, you know. It's a little bit mature because you've still got this thing, but it teaches good lessons, which is like monsters aren't always the monsters. Sometimes the monster is man. And then another thing, which is having to explain all of the weird sniffing.
There was weird sniffing.
Yeah, remember?
Oh,
had to,
the weird sniffing of.
he had to imprint on her, and so he had to sniff her really hard.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
And-
right. Yes.
You know, in some people, it's going to awaken a kink or reinforce one.
This better not awaken anything in me.
Anyway, 80.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for 70. Yep. It was fine. I liked it enough. I'm not gonna race out and recommend it to people.
Sure. Is it because of the sniffing?
If someone says, "Is that scary? Can I watch it?" I'll be like, "It's not scary. You
Yeah,
do
no.
whatever you like."
Live your best life. Pete.
I'm going to say 70 as well because I had enough fun. And I think I really feel like it's kind of achieved what it set out to achieve. I think it could have achieved it harder. But you know, I guess like I wasn't like super keen on watching it in the first place because, you know, I've got stuff going on. But it wasn't an unpleasant hour for me. I had enough fun and I saw enough kind of merit. There are enough things that I found interesting about it. So yeah, I probably don't have anyone that I would like recommend must watch it either. But I think Dion's right. Like if I'm going to have like a, you know, scary movie Halloween party, it might be on the list. Because
Yeah.
Jill, you know, I don't like real scary movies.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I mean,
I'll
you've
wait
seen
till the end of
something-
the show to recommend something really fucking scary.
I was going to say you've got stuff to talk about there.
Yeah, because we went and saw one, didn't we?
Mm.
I'm going to be harsher than y'all. I
Ooh.
thought it was a bit of a fucking fizzer. It was I wanted to get invested in it. I wanted to like it, and I wanted to be entertained by it. But I've watched it twice because the first time I fell asleep sort of and was like, oh, I'm breathing. It's in the middle of PAX. I was literally
Okay, fair. Yep. Fair enough.
midnight on one of the nights of PAX,
Watching
and I was just like,
Werewolf by night at PAX.
I had a room to myself, and it was past midnight, and I couldn't sleep. I watched it, and I was like, okay. And then today, I thought I'll go back and I'll rewatch that because I wanted to make sure where I was at with it. And I was just like, I'm struggling to give a shit about the characters, and it sort of just meandered its way through and didn't do much. So for me, it's a 65. I'm sorry. It was
Wow.
like, it's not terrible. It was, and I like the idea. I like the idea of a Halloween special that could play with characters that we haven't seen before. I liked Man Thing. And you can put
I
that
know
on
you
the
love the
t-shirt.
man thing.
Yeah, go. But I just thought that overall it was a bit ho hum. So there you go. That's my ratings on that.
Well, PAX has changed you, Quinny. Used to be able to agree with you on a lot of things, but yeah, on this one, I just can't go with you.
Predakanga also asks the important question: on a scale of 1 to Lasso, how would you rate Ted?
Well, I said in there, like, Rob was saying, this Ted was better than the bear. And I'm like, fuck. I mean, that's fighting words. There you go. Anyway, clip?
Yes, let us click.
Yes.
Clip.
Clear.
I do hope my attendance delights you. Thank you, Verusa, for seeing it through and for shaping our cause like no other. With my passing, it is now time to choose a new leader in the crusade against monsters. This honor can only be bestowed upon the strongest and most committed to our mission. Very soon, a monster unlike anything you faced will be released into these sacred grounds. The hunter who slays this beast will become our new leader, taking possession of my bloodstone. Good luck. I'll be rotting for you. Oh, forgive me. Graveyard humor.
When he said good luck,
Forgive
I
me.
did the rest of the line that RuPaul says, and don't fuck it up.
And don't fuck it up. Oh, God.
But like Rob said, it did remind me of the Disney part, Tower of Terror. I'm like,
Yeah.
but if they'd gone even further, it would have been better.
Yeah. Like, as I said, it's really got that feeling of Disney Halloween, which is the accoutrements of scary without being scary. It's dark, but it's not really dark, actually. You know, and the werewolf is there, but he's not actually a scary werewolf.
No.
You know, and he's going to attack all the other guys, and he might rip their throats out, but he's actually kind of nice. So,
Yeah, because he's got a friend
yeah.
who's just a misunderstood monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I mean,
So-
technically they forced him to become a werewolf because it wasn't full moon.
Mhm.
See,
They
I live
made
in
him a
hope that maybe
werewolf.
there's a different version of him that isn't a shit werewolf.
Oh, it's a bit rough.
I don't like the fucking pork chop sideburns werewolves.
the
I
pu-
like
the
my
pube
werewolves
one.
big and furry.
Of course you do.
That's what it says on your dating
And you
profile.
can
Yeah.
examine that whatever way you like.
Oh,
What
dear.
can I tell you? I'm a man who knows what he likes.
Yeah, cheesy fun. So we managed to like basically spend an hour talking about how we didn't like it. But I mean, look, Werewolf by Night, it's its own thing. Go and watch it if you want. Like, it's fine. Also, it's not scary because you can introduce that to kids and be like, oh yeah, it's a werewolf. It's like, it's fine though.
Oh man, I like Predakanga's idea that Ulysses' final surprise was that he was the monster and he came out as like a big kind of Frankenstein's monster type thing. That would have been fucking cool.
Sure, but that would have required like stuff and plot and pacing and a whole bunch of other things that they just didn't have time for. They were doing a werewolf story, goddammit. It said Werewolf by Night. If Frankenstein had turned up, I would have been like, that's shit.
Yeah, I think I would have been like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. And also, the only Frankenstein in the Marvel universe is literally Frank Castle, the Punisher, as Frankenstein. Don't ask how that gets there. It does. But anyway.
Where's my gunk?
Yeah. Where's the gunk?
There's my gunk. There it is. There we go.
So while we're all here, and just before we end up wrapping up because it's quite late now, but what else have you been watching / seeing / doing that you wanted to talk about just in the last little bit at the end here, even though it's Werewolf by Night?
Well,
nothing. Should we go? Okay, that's it. Wrapped up then.
I think it's important that we
do we want to talk about the She-Hulk finale?
Do you want to talk about the She-Hulk in the room?
Yes. Let's talk about the giant green monster in the room. I'm hoping that everybody in the chat is up to speed on this. We are in the spoiler section.
Yeah, I did put it up.
If not up to speed on She-Hulk, sorry, bye.
Yeah, you may want to tell your story, walking pal.
I think I didn't call it. It wasn't fourth wall breaking. It was fourth wall demolishing.
Annihilating.
Yeah, fourth wall annihilating.
Sorry, I approve of Rob's. We need to talk about Kevin.
Do we though?
Yes.
Did you like that? I mean, this is the.
I am glad that I had my closed captions off because apparently that spoiled it for people because it was doing the acronym from the get-go.
Right. It did. I
was talking about Kevin, I was like, oh my God, is Kevin going to be in the show? Like, that's crazy.
That's exactly what happened. I don't always have closed captions on, but it just so happened I missed a joke earlier on and I had switched on closed captions to be like, the fuck did they say? And I hadn't switched it off and it did kind of spoil that reveal.
But it was always K-E-V-E-N.
K-E-V-I-N. Like she was saying, she was captioned as Kevin and the writers were captioned as K-E-V-I-N.
So what I hated / liked about it though specifically was that part in it where it went to the menu and it even made the little return sound. And for a second there, I went like,
oh,
shit, wait, what? What am I going to... And then she just busted and goes, no, we're not, you can't go away. And I was like, oh, this is part of the show. Oh.
And then jumps into her own assembled episode.
Yes.
Which I was like...
So good.
So fucking clever. And yes, Casper, I think we can all agree that Titania got completely wasted overall.
Yeah. I mean, come on, we had some great moments in She-Hulk building up to that last episode, but that last episode was quite literally where they'd written themselves into a corner, and instead of writing themselves out of the corner, they wrote through the corner, and and they were kind of like, well, we could break the fourth wall. It's like, why break it? We could just keep going. Let's go harder. Let's create an alternate dimension where Kevin is actually a robot, and that is now one of the different. It's multiverse of madness.
He has a little cap.
Yeah. I love the cap. Fucking love the little cap. I was just like, oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
My favorite line is with that whole thing is like, yes, we can talk about it. But you need to transform because you're very expensive.
Yeah, but do it off screen because we can't afford that.
She's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. It was very, very much the robot from Portal.
Yeah.
And
none of that was even my favorite thing about the episode.
No. Okay, what was your favorite bit?
My favorite thing about the episode was them just annihilating all of the MRAs that have been trying to say that this show is shit on the internet.
Yes.
By saying exactly what they're saying.
Absolutely.
Just perfection, because I have read so many comments of people like using weird logic to try to say why this isn't a good show. And really the only logic is this isn't to my taste. I'll watch something else. But like they just dig themselves these giant holes of why it's not good. And
I would feel exactly the same if it was a male Hulk.
Yeah.
Would you though?
No, you wouldn't, dickhead.
Yeah, the amount of troubling essays that are on YouTube. When we did our She-Hulk episode, I was looking for clips for the show.
Oh no.
And just typed She-Hulk. Oh my God, nearly every search result was a man giving an oral essay on why it was a terrible show.
That's bullshit. That is
beautiful
that
about
is,
it is that they obviously wrote and filmed that before any of these people had
They
these
knew it was
reactions.
coming.
Jill.
So-
I think you lie there. No, none of those men have ever given oral.
Oh, and yeah, also we haven't talked about Matt Murdock and like perfection, and that's
the
all there is
walk
to
of
say.
shame.
No, stride
No
of pride.
shame.
Stride
No
of
shame.
pride.
Walk of-
Thank you.
Yes.
It's not a walk of shame. It's a stride of
Oh
pride.
yeah,
If
no, he
anyone-
looked very happy about it.
He was
did not
very
look
happy
shameful
with
at
himself.
all.
Everyone is allowed to have that stride of pride. No one should ever be made to feel shameful about.
I love that he
you know.
didn't put his shoes on though. He's
Yeah.
like,
He's wearing the mask but not his shoes. That was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like everything about that episode was.
Well, that's
absolutely
because I
brilliant.
think she would have made him leave it on.
Yeah.
No,
gotta
leave
say,
it on.
fucking love that episode just for all of its loving references to the Netflix stuff, but then the complete subversion of it as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, he's going to be dark and broody. No, he's not. We're going to do the fight in the hallway where he fights it. No, we're not doing that. But then just a little bit of the music, and you're like, oh yes, thank you so much.
How did we
That's all I
find it?
needed.
How did you find watching the intro to the final episode, which was a
Oh.
direct
Oh my
spoof of
God.
the,
Clip for clip.
original one? Yeah.
Exactly
good.
the same as the Incredible Hulk. It was so much fun. Oh
I'm
my
actually
God.
intrigued because I had a look at an actual shot for shot comparison, and I'm trying to work out whether they actually found the set or knew where the set was
Right.
for the actual the thing that she's sitting in, or whether they just composited her incredibly well
Probably
in an
compositing.
original photo.
That's why they couldn't afford a lot of CGI for Werewolf by Night, and they had to shoot in black and white because there was a lot of CGI. Also, it's an expensive show, so I can understand that.
But it was also a lovely little sort of response to all of the people who are like, oh, why are they using a CGI Hulk? Why don't they just use a really strong woman and do this Hulk that way? This is why, because it looks like this in this intro, and you know that's the 70s.
Yeah,
We're not doing the 70s anymore.
Yeah, but also, why didn't they do that for the Hulk?
Yeah.
I know.
Although
there's no base for their argument.
Yes,
Yes.
there is. They have no argument. Although, big spoiler that has just come up in the chat is, what about the Hulk's son?
Scar. Okay, so there was a huge rumor going around that as soon as that like Sakarian ship appeared in the first episode, that this was going to be the introduction of Scar. Because like, what other reason could Hulk have to go back to Sakaar than to find his son?
Yeah, well, I mean, the Grandmaster is
that
living on the
was-
Gold Coast with Daryl. So.
So that was something that was maybe seen coming by like deep fans.
Yeah.
But where we're going to see Scar next, I'm not sure. Are they going to make another
knows?
Hulk movie? Who knows?
We don't know.
Mm.
Like,
I don't know, but it was
I'm
very
so
exciting.
surprised that we didn't see Legion.
Why would we
Wait.
see Legion?
Wait, which is Legion? No, where's the big brain guy?
Oh, the leader.
Leader.
Sorry. Yeah, no wonder we didn't see Legion because it's a different character. Why didn't we see the leader? Look, it all starts with L, much the same.
Yeah.
All L
The
words
leader
are the same.
is in Captain America 4. That's where we're going to see Leader.
Right.
So Tim Blake
okay.
Nelson is back from.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, look, there's a lot of that stuff, and I love that they managed to tie in a whole bunch of stuff from the Incredible Hulk movie, and wave it away and go, yeah, no, it's all fine.
I always thought, like, I was always thinking, I was like, oh, they have to do this thing. Like, Emil Blonsky has to be the Abomination and also be evil. And then when it came down to it, I was like, oh, no, they didn't. They just moved on. They were like, no,
Yeah.
he wasn't technically evil, but he was like, yeah, they're paying me a lot of money for this speaking thing. That's the only reason I'm doing it. I don't agree with their philosophies, but they're paying me a lot of money.
I want to know what you guys think about Harrison Ford being cast as Thunderbolt Ross now that William Hurt has passed away.
Bit of a risky one there to go for Harrison
Yeah?
Ford.
Yeah.
Could have chosen someone younger, maybe, just in case. Just in case.
I don't think William Hurt was a spring chicken before he kicked it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when he was, like, remember that he was Thunderbolt Ross like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the
like,
last time we saw him was
one of the no,
Infinity War.
no, Black Widow.
Yeah, but that was set before Infinity War.
Oh, okay. I thought we were just talking about the actor as the character.
Oh yeah. Was that filmed after Infinity War?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a fucking great casting choice. I mean, can you find anyone more grumpy and irascible than fucking?
Yeah, Sam Elliott.
Yeah, but Sam Elliott's also a racist old dick. So
No, he's not. He's walked that back, by the way.
Oh,
And it
has
wasn't
he?
racist. It was homophobic.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, but he's also
well.
walked that back.
Okay, well that's good. I'm glad.
Fair
I'm
enough.
glad that he's capable of learning.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because, William Hurt was 71 when he passed away, and that's okay. But Harrison Ford is 80. So you're actually getting someone in who's older than the guy who was there. So maybe you just go back under again.
Yeah, but he's also Indiana Jones, so.
You really think so? You know why I'm not excited for Harrison Ford? Because Harrison Ford does not give a shit anymore. And Harrison Ford doesn't care about acting. He's not there to give a performance. He's just there to be like, shut up, kid, take the money and run. Like, I haven't seen Harrison Ford give a good performance for a long time.
I don't know. I thought he was okay in those Star Wars films.
That was in the 70s.
No, I'm talking about the recent. God damn it. And thank you, Rob, for reminding us that Sam Elliott was Thunderbolt Ross in the Eric Banner Hulk.
Yeah.
So if we were to use Sam Elliott, that would be a deeply confusing universe break.
But also, I would absolutely love if they got Ang Lee back to direct the next Hulk movie. Why not?
I would love to see
Crouching
Eric Banner.
Tiger, Hidden Hulk. Oh, let's see that one.
I would like to see Eric Banner brought in as somebody completely different and just be like, yeah, no, I know how you feel, buddy.
No, bring him back as Red Hulk.
But isn't that Thunderbolt Ross?
Yeah, Thunderbolt Ross. Is
Yeah,
Red
but I mean,
Hulk.
like, technically speaking, well, there you go. Get Eric Banner back as Thunderbolt Ross and make him the Red Hulk, and then it's green versus red. And I think that would, and all of us would be like this, but no one gives a shit anymore because everyone's waiting for Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
And Peter has lost her will to live.
You know what I'm excited for? After watching that She-Hulk episode, I am very excited and scared for the possibility of She-Hulk meeting Deadpool. And then both looking at the audience saying, you can see them too?
Yeah. That would be weird. Like, are they different levels of meta? Like,
yes.
I don't know how it works.
But only if we can get Uatu, the Watcher, to also be brave. Uatu, Deadpool, and She-Hulk in a room looking at the audience going,
God.
so, let's catch up. Or no, maybe just do that thing of like, audience, what do you think should happen? Tweet your reply now.
You know what? That's what we should do for the next Halloween special. It should be a choose your own adventure, much like the
Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch, where you can talk to Uatu and Deadpool and She-Hulk, and you can control. Actually, it'd be great. You take the role of Kevin, and you control the entirety of the Marvel Cinematic
It's
Universe.
the only way you'll be able to please the fans, and even then, they won't like it.
And Doc Forrest says, and Lewis, who is narrating the entire thing.
Yes.
I like this. I like this a lot.
Anyway. Oh dear. What fun. What fun. So,
I do love that Peter either has frozen. No, she's blinking.
She's blinking.
It's like Marvel just go.
No, it's okay, Pete. Next week, we're not doing a Marvel film.
Wait, what are we
We're
doing?
doing a DC one.
Oh, Peter, I'm so sorry. Your enthusiasm is.
What are we going to talk about? The bear. I'm talking about the bear. He's going to talk about the bear with me.
Put it in the poll
He's
for
going to talk
next
about
month.
Heartbreak High with me.
Put it
I
in
will
the
talk
poll.
about
We're
Heartbreak
probably
High
on
with
different
you.
levels at the moment.
Put it on the Facebook poll for next month.
Yeah, there's a
I had
Facebook
a poll
poll.
for last month and it won and we didn't schedule it.
Oh shit!
That
what-
sounds
What,
typical.
was it the bear that won?
The bear was one of the highest voted on the poll for last month. Yes.
Yeah, but creating 7 spoof accounts just to get your numbers up there, Pete, is not- I know what you're doing. I've got admin privileges.
I want to talk about Interview with the Vampire next month.
Oh, sexy bloodsuckers.
Yeah.
Really? I don't know about
haven't
Sexy
watched any of it
Bloodsuckers,
yet.
but there was a great cameo which you had mentioned there, Jill, which I did know was coming, but when he turned up in the first episode, I was like, "G'day, buddy."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Johnny D.
Johnny D.
John
Oh,
DiMaggio, who has
yeah.
been tweeting pictures of himself with the pork chop sideburns. He could be a werewolf. But
Yeah.
he's not. So yeah, okay. So the bear is one. I am now watching Heartbreak High, and Peter, thank you for your recommendation. I heartily recommend that all of our listeners go and check out the new Heartbreak High on Netflix.
But is there
very good.
Is there an eyebrow ring and a Drazic?
There is a nose ring, and that's all you're getting, Dion.
There is a nose ring and a character called Quinny. Yeah, which I am thoroughly entertained by, and she's a delight of a character.
Excellent. Yes. Oh, thank you, Predakanga, for putting the bear back in the poll for the.
Thanks, Predakanga. I'm going to vote for it again.
Get all your spoof accounts ready. 7,000 votes for the bear. Okay.
I'm going to put vampires in there. See if we get that up there.
Sure.
I must admit that I did get a message from my buddy Noel today, literally going, "Have you seen the bear?" And I was like, "I'll get around to it. I'm sorry."
Look, Interview with the Vampire.
It expands on the movie. I'll say that much. Like, it very much acknowledges the movie as happening. It's set in current times. The interview is happening again. And it's basically Louis kind of not recanting his original interview, but with the benefit of like hindsight, recounting it again with more detail. So I don't know. It's all right. But I mean, Lestat is a fucking piece of shit, and they're really leaning hard into that. So if you're into toxic relationships, sure.
I mean,
toxic relationship involving vampires, I'm in.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you like gaslighting, you're gonna love this show.
Gaslighting.
If you like gaslighting by Gaslamp, you're gonna love Interview with the Vampire.
But Tari, it is hella sexy, so get on board. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, didn't get enough gay action in the movie. You're getting it in this. Still not enough, but like, for TV, it's fine, I guess.
Wait, vampires are gay?
These ones are.
That couldn't have happened. That's not what Twilight explained to me.
Predakanga did ask, we were going to mention something else that we'd watched. Dion and I last Friday night saw The Barbarian, and holy hell, it's been a while since I've been properly terrified by a horror movie, and that one did it. That's I'm going to sleep with the lights on tonight kind of movie.
Barbarian was like, it was I love that the trailer for it was like the next Justin Long movie, and then it comes out with, I know, that's the trailer says Justin Long's next movie, and it's Barbarian, and you're like, okay, Justin Long is not really the main character in this kind of thing. It's a little bit different, but he is in there. But also, it went like funny places where I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
very
proper.
Quickly diverted from places that you thought it was going into something else, and it's kept me on my toes watching the movie, and also like a lot of, are you stupid?
Yeah, a lot of the dumb horror things of like, do not go down. No, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
But Quinny, do you remember watching the movie The Descent?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so if you liked that kind of constricted,
terrifying,
compact
fucking
terror,
tanks of shit, god awful terror,
but then with like interesting jump scares, not like unavoidable, but like kind of interesting jump scares. Barbarian is definitely
not cheap
one.
Jump scares either.
No.
Very expensive jump scare.
There was actually really, I think there was a really good one. And you know how sometimes a jump scare is just a jump and then it moves on and something goes. In this one, there was like literally a jump scare, and then they just held the frame and it just went on too long and it became even more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it's just
like a cheap jump scare is a false threat, but like these were jump scares where it's like, no, you are going to be terrified now, and that was the start of it. So like strap in kind of
Peter looks
shit.
very excited about this.
Peter, never watch Barbarian.
Never
You
watch
will,
Barbarian.
you will not. You will not.
Yeah.
That's it. That's just the answer.
You will not.
Yeah.
You will not.
If you ever saw that clip of Lights Off that went
Oh, yeah,
viral
yeah.
on Facebook, that had some elements in this movie, like visual horror as well, like body horror
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I can't handle. I don't mind the jump scares. I can't handle the body horror. Like the jump scares, I find interesting, but the body horror, I'm
Definitely
not-
don't watch this one.
Body horror jump scares. Great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Also,
I watched
Justin
Halloween
Long.
Ends. Oh, sorry.
I was going
Dion,
to say
you go.
Justin Long is actually doing an amazing job of being a complete dick in every film I've seen him in since Idiocracy. It's great. Good work, Justin. You're doing great.
Yeah.
Keep being a dick.
If anyone hasn't seen Halloween Ends yet, don't bother. It was a movie. If you watched the previous Halloween, very much the same kind of stuff. But Michael Myers, spoiler alert, he did die at the end. So it's over.
Yeah, I've
I
seen
mean,
quite a few people.
that happens a lot
Yeah.
in the Halloween franchise.
Yes, he has died multiple times.
they hacked him up into tiny little pieces and then burnt him alive. So, oh well, he wasn't alive; he was dead. Burnt him
Dead.
to death.
Burn him dead.
Yeah, so I think he's actually dead now.
Like Bo burn him dead?
Sure.
Okay, I think that's
Yeah.
Also, if you
that's
like,
how cute to call it.
It is, absolutely.
Also, I haven't seen the Hellraiser that's out on Netflix yet. So if anyone's,
Oh yeah.
if that's worth going to see, go see
I've heard some
I
good
haven't
things
watched it.
about that. I've heard some terrible things about Halloween. In fact, most of the people that I've seen that are big horror fans were like, yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, you could have killed him in the way that he died many movies ago,
and we would have been.
but they
fine with
chose
that.
to not.
Right.
Okay.
Well, tomorrow night,
Anyway,
Jill and I are
thanks,
going to go and watch Black Adam. So
Yes. I have heard that there is food and drink on offer, so I'll be there.
yes.
good luck going and seeing Black Adam, of which I have almost no interest in seeing, but let's okay.
Oh,
We're gonna go see
and
it.
I am so tentative about this movie. I fucking love Black Adam, the character. Like, I first read his whole thing in, God, what was it? Was it Crisis, or was it like
52.
52?
It was 52.
In 52, and I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, I never read this about this character before, but I am so into it. Very cool. So I don't know, the latest trailer kind of makes me think it's going to be anti-hero, so I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
like, can we just tone down the Rock humor and not do that?
Because what we need is
We
another
will.
dark and gritty DC movie. Anyway. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Anyway,
We got
Yes.
anyone that we're going to go and raid?
Let's see
Raiding.
who is live at the moment. We could go. What do we feel like? Do we feel like
Thanks.
going raiding Hex Bajo or Jordan Raskopoulos?
Jordan, because she absolutely smashed the great debate. There you go.
Oh,
There you
fucking
go.
hell.
Go and watch
Um,
that on the Twitch links. We should put that up actually on. We should put the links up of the things that you did, Quinny,
Yeah.
so that people
Well,
can go
I-
and find them and watch them.
Yes, that is a very good idea. Jordan did indeed absolutely fucking destroy the great debate and almost killed me because I was sitting behind her while she did her thing and I was laughing so hard that my ribs started to cramp. And if you I don't know whether you can see it in the video or not, but there's a point where I'm going ha ha, and
Wow.
nearly falling off the chair because I'm in extraordinary pain.
I missed it, so I really want to watch it.
We'll get all
It's
that sorted out.
available on the Twitch.
Which we should
will put some
repost at
links
some
up to
point.
it. I have put some links out through my channels, but we'll do through the periodic table channels as well.
Yay!
Thank for the sub, Casper.
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to
Yes.
get mine.
Yes. Do you want this cute little one?
Oh, it's in color. I thought they were all
Yes,
black and
it's in
white.
colour now. And I just want to know who gets Luigi, because Luigi is down here somewhere, but Luigi is like, why is Luigi here? He's definitely a sub.
I'm gonna leave that up to you guys to think which one to give to me. I don't know which.
Okay.
All right.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Alright.
We'll
See
go
you.
raiding, but we'll see you later. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
local downtown. I wanna look out my window, see him flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer him on so proud. See, power girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have him teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. Martial arts from iron fist and wall, I'll dance her up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out Avengers assemble, not order up for Ethel. Yeah, we're out of cheeky now. Date Emma Frost and have her read my mind, or Magdalena, her artifacts I find, and then we catch a symphony. It'll just be her and me. Call Bucky Barnes and arm wrestle for hours. There's NMA and bring her lots of flowers. Oh, be Tony Stark at all the trendy bars. It'd be a guy's night out. We'd make that wolf pack out. I'd run with Flash and do a marathon. Vacation to the Savage Land for